It's raw, but it's family friendly with your hosts Charmaine and Michael talking about faith, politics, world events, controversies, anything and everything that comes from our heart, our opinion, and into the atmosphere. It's raw every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on YouTube, Tumblr, and Rumble.
Everyone, welcome back on It's Raw.
It's raw.
It's raw.
It's raw.
This is a program that we do together, talking about anything and everything.
Anything and everything,
Just-
including politics.
Yeah, we just try to keep it clean.
We will.
Just try to keep it clean. So
Family friendly.
family friendly.
But raw.
But raw.
Well, look at you taking out your ears.
All right.
All right. Oh,
We are going to talk about.
this is getting serious.
I'm most times not serious. I'm only serious when people are disrespectful to anyone. I don't care who it might be, and who the disrespect might go to, or who might be doing their disrespect.
Don't disrespect her or anybody else.
I don't like this disrespectful behavior. I detest disrespectful behavior.
She does.
And I get serious. I also get serious when people try to play you for fools or play me for a fool. I hate it. I totally despise it. And there are certain other things that really get me gutted.
Get you gutted like a fish.
Yeah,
Oh,
take my gut
not
out.
good. Not good.
And so I have to lift up my gut and put it back in and soak my belly and go deal with the problem. So, yes. So our first show of It's Raw went out couple Wednesdays ago. And we
It
are
was
here.
not good.
It was not good.
We redid it and put it out again. So if you watched it the first time and you saw us walking in and out, it didn't get edited properly, but now it's edited properly. My
the
fault.
producer. Exactly. So
I take the blame.
So who normally produce our show, not producing our show anymore, have to be on the show because who we had intended to use on the show is not on the show, and so we have to set the thing up by ourselves and edit it properly and then send it out to you. And the first one, when I watched it, it wasn't edited. It wasn't edited at all.
No,
at all.
it got just thrown up there. And I don't know how I did that, but I did.
And I was screaming at Michael. I was screaming at him. You told me you would have cut out. Because if you watch the first show, you see that I don't remember what happened. I burped.
You burped and more than air came up.
Yes. And so when he was ending the show, he said, "Oh, you have vomitus in your mouth and stuff." So I didn't
edit that out.
It was
That's
edited. It's still
that
edited.
was funny.
The end of that part was edited.
Yes.
And so here we are. Again.
But you know what? When you make mistakes like that, you learn stuff. And I learned more about our editing program. I'm not a professional editor.
He has been editing for over 1 year.
But I'm still not a professional.
My books that have gone out there, he did the first editing. He's very good at English. Well, cut and paste might be not English.
Well,
but he's good at computer.
Mm-hmm.
And so for him to say he doesn't have the experience, sometimes he just rushes.
Too fast.
Too fast. And then that mistake comes in and I am vivid, screaming, "Baby, you promised me. There's so many videos that he had put up that he promised that this would be edited or a commercial will go in, and I talk about the commercial, but the pictures of the commercial not in and all those fancy stuff. But it happens. It happens.
And we're both still working full-time jobs, so this
And-
is just an aside.
Yeah,
This is
we-
having fun.
Yeah, we work full time, and I never used to work like this before. When I mean like this, 5 days a week, and so yeah, it's kind of
It's time-consuming. Sometimes it's very time-consuming.
and so on the weekends. The weekend is just for us. Like when Friday evening come and we walk through that door, it's like, oh gosh, thank you. It's like it's,
Yeah, we try and do nothing.
it's
Friday night,
nothing,
Saturday, Sunday.
nothing.
Well, we go to church.
We go
but
to church.
Other than that,
And we take Sunday totally off for resting,
mhm.
like a sabbatical. And then Friday, when we come home, it's movie time. It's
Yeah.
just cuddling time. It's just a warm situation.
Amen.
So when we do the editing, like when Michael should do the editing,
Sometimes we're tired at night after a long day at work.
and so yeah. So what we want to talk about today?
What about the movie we just watched?
Okay, we
That
watched
was a good movie.
Bar Marley, One Love.
One Love. Yeah.
I was critiquing the movie. I love the movie. I was telling Michael I see a lot of things in the movie. My eyes does see a lot of things. I'm just catching up this ear of mine because it gets all right. So I'm gonna critique, or do you want to critique
Oh,
first?
you go ahead. 'Cause
So
you're coming from the Jamaican perspective, so
from a Jamaican perspective, I would want it because my husband was not able to understand the amount of patois
they
or
weren't speaking patois.
the broken English. She wasn't able to understand much of what they were saying, especially at the beginning of the show. And so I would have wanted what they call that when the words go in.
Closed captioning.
I would have wanted closed captioning,
Yeah.
so that people who are in the theater, those who don't know patois that well and don't know broken language that well, could read what these people were saying. And I felt disappointed in that part because I really wanted other culture and other nation to know what we're saying when we're saying something. And so the caption would have been a great addition. I would have been more proud.
But it was no problem, man.
It was no problem, man. I saw that Bob Marley was humble and he was respectful. He was caring. He also showed jealousy, and even God is jealous. Even God is jealous. So he shows what any other person would have shown given in the situation that he was in. Not per se as a relationship, because some people are jealous but they don't show it. He showed his when him and Rita was arguing outside over that guy in the club. There was something else about the movie. I realized he had some childhood trauma. What am I talking about? Drama.
Trauma, yeah.
He had some childhood trauma there where his father didn't want him to stay, and this was where he really reflected on it. It really affected him as a person. And Rita also had some family trauma as well, and both of them come together. Sometimes when we don't deal with our trauma together or apart from each other, it can affect the whole relationship.
The trauma deals with you.
Right. There was something else.
Because they showed
saw.
him dealing with that trauma, and he'd think about it before every show.
Exactly.
Every time he went on stage, he'd think about that trauma and his father leaving him.
Right. And
Yeah.
what I'm saying, people, if you don't have to leave your children, if you don't have to, if you don't leave them, or don't be there when they are born yet, instead of being there when they are born and then leave them. You know, it's really rough, and everybody have trauma, I understand. Also with his leg, when he injured that leg,
His toe, yeah.
his toe. I realized that culturally, what I have seen is that most men, most African American, African Jamaican, African whatever it is, they do not like to go to the doctor, and they try to deal with it on their own. And he did, I think he did go to the doctor early enough, but he didn't want that toe to be cut off.
And it killed him.
And it killed him. I was only...
You were 9 years old
when he died. Okay.
Maybe 10. Depends on when he died. You might have turned 10. Or no, but you could be 8 or 9. You'd be 8 or 9. I can't remember the year was 81, but can't remember the date.
Okay,
my take on the movie, I really enjoyed it. I'm not a real reggae fan. I mean, I grew up in the 70s and 80s rock era of Canada, Ontario, but I knew his music. I knew some of the songs, the more popular ones, and I liked how they showed him to be that very humble guy, and yet he wasn't afraid to take a stand. I like that. He was very much, I learned about the Rastafarians and that whole culture and how they kind of intermix the Bible in it, and it's kind of this mixture of stuff, and it's kind of weird, actually. Sometimes you look at them and you think, oh, they're weird, but no, this got into their thought process, and it got even weirder, the way they think. But very peace-loving people, though. And he wanted peace for his country. That's what he wanted.
Yeah. So, Rastafarian, because I lived in Jamaica for a while. I have a lot of Rastafarian friends, a lot. As a matter of fact, close friends of mine were Rastafarians. And their take is just wholesome, is just peaceful, but they do stand up for what they believe in, and they will give their life for what they believe in. What I couldn't understand is because from a Christian point of view, because I read the Bible, and from the Haile Selassie being described as Jesus Christ. When I read the Bible, it says Jesus Christ, when he's coming, his second coming, every eye shall behold him. And so there's a kind of a controversy there compared to my Christianity, compared to Haile Selassie Christianity. But the Jehovah Jah, which is one of my friend told me, Rastafarian told me, is a shortening for Jehovah. And so they have Jehovah and they have Selassie, and we have Jesus Christ, which they think Selassie, in their opinion, Selassie is Jesus Christ. So the mixture of that as well, we see that. And so if you're not used to the culture of a Rastafarian, or if you're not used to the culture of Jamaicans, where you see all the family members together in one house, it doesn't happen here like that. Right?
But we went to a new theater too. Well, not new, just we haven't been to one in a long time. I haven't been to. Can we say the name?
No. You don't have to say the name. But what I'm saying is, we have gone to a theater, the last theater we went to, because my husband don't take me to theater, people. No theatering.
Because she's noisy. She jumps into the screen in the movie. She's in there. And she's yelling at people, and the people in the movie at home. That's fine and fun and funny, and it's fun to watch a movie with Charmaine, but not in a movie theater. She's yelling at them. Don't go there. Don't do that.
Baby, you're extra newspaper and cleaner. extra newspaper and cleaner. He's extra. Listen to me. I love movies. People, I really enjoy movies.
She does.
And when I'm watching the movies, I get involved in the movies. I know it sounds stupid to some young people. Young people, don't judge me. I see you in the camera judging me right now.
Oh, they're not judging you. They're laughing at you.
I see you laughing at you. I see you laughing at me. It's that I love movies, and I get involved in the movie, and I understand the movie, and I can see where the writer going. I can see where the writer coming from, and what I would have done differently. I am really a very good critique of movie. Like, a really good critique of movie.
You are.
I can, and I know when movie ends well, or how I would end it differently. And so I get into the movie. Michael does get into the movie, but not the way I do, unless we are home, of course.
Well, I'm not as vocal as you are. You're just vocal about it. I might think the same thing. I might say it under my breath, but not at 120 decibels.
All right, fine. But the thing is, we don't go to movies because
Not
we
very
set
much.
our place where we enjoy movies at home. The last movie we went to was in the States.
That was The Sound of Freedom, and that's
So,
another good movie.
that was so beautiful.
That was a good movie.
It was such a beautiful movie, a heart-rending movie, but beautiful. So what I'm saying is that the movie theater we went to was we're not going to advertise any movie theater, but it was set up in such a way where the only thing I missed was a blanket.
Oh, if she had a blanket, she was at home. We had the lounge chairs that your feet were up in the air. Oh, it was so comfortable. I said, we're not going back to that mainstream one anymore. We're going to this one again. I love this one. Don't you spit that. We're going back to this one. It's not that far from our house.
It's just comfortable. The chair is soft.
Oh, yeah.
It's
beautiful.
really soft and really cuddling and really nice, and I like that.
But
really
it is
like
the
that.
same as the other theater. They have no idea what the price of anything is outside of the theater.
What do you
We
mean?
went and had a whole meal for less than what they would have charged us for a popcorn and a drink.
And so when we went to the theater, we decided to get pizza slices,
Uh-huh.
and it was a pepperoni pizza and all
Yeah,
of that
just your basic
advertised.
pizza, but it looked good.
Right. And
On
when
the
you-
picture, it looked good.
you know, you saw that my mother. I'm gonna give you a joke about my mother. So my mother came to visit me, and I take my mother out. My mother, like, we're not that crazy about food. Like, food is not something that we eat food, but not because for me, I like eating food when I'm hungry. I'm not fussy over food, but I'm a fussy eater. Like, I only eat certain things, and I don't like my food wet. So my mother's like the same thing. I don't think I learned it from her. I just learned it from my taste bud on what I like and what I don't like. Took her to this restaurant, and she looked at the pictures. I took her to all restaurants, and she looked at all the pictures, and she settled for this restaurant. So when she settled for this restaurant, she liked how the food was prepared, what it looked like on the picture. And so she ordered that dish. When the meal came, it was nothing like it was on the picture. And my mother would not eat it. My mother said, "This is not what I ordered. This is not what I want." And I said, "Actually, the name of the dish is what you ordered. The presentation is different than the picture." She wouldn't eat it, people. She would not eat it. And I was like, "You can throw it away, but what am I going to get you? Because I am not going to eat it." Because what she chose wasn't something that I would eat. I guess it would have been too wet. I can't remember why I didn't want it. I just didn't want it. And I said to her, "You can throw it away. Do you want us to go to KFC?" It's totally different from Jamaican KFC up here. It's totally different from Jamaican KFC. Because if you know, Jamaicans, our normal KFC was chicken, real chicken, without hormones and without all those fancy stuff added to it. It tasted different. They have the real food. But here, some chickens have the hormone, and it's just different.
It tastes different.
It tastes different. So I said, "Mummy, you can eat the meal, or what you can do is throw it out and get something else that you want. I know that you're used to KFC. If you want to get KFC, that's fine. It might not taste the same." And my mother just hates to waste food. She just think that there are people out there who could have this food or had this food that would have done them benefit. And so she didn't want to throw it out, and she didn't want to eat it. So that was a dilemma.
You remember that one time we went to a very fancy restaurant here in Winnipeg, and we ordered, it was like a seafood platter. And we both love seafood. And the picture looked beautiful.
Yes, it did.
And when they brought it, we looked at it
Oh,
and we said, it's on ice.
everything
said-
was on ice.
He said, yeah, it's a cold platter.
Oh, they didn't even advertise cold platter.
No, we don't want a cold platter.
Oh
we want
my-
a warm platter.
Everything was
And they
on
wouldn't
ice.
take it back.
The shrimp
We
was
ate some of
ice.
it, but it was just
The lobster was on ice. The what they call that? It started with a C.
crab.
The
There was
crab was
crab.
on ice.
There was,
the other one, the sea one.
There's scallops. There was.
Caviar.
Oh yeah, there was
the
caviar.
caviar
in it.
was
It
on
was
ice.
on ice, and it was like, oh, this is awful.
Everything was on an ice tray. People, real ice. As if ice can be unreal.
It wasn't dry ice. It was real ice.
Oh, people, it was on real ice. I was so turned off. I was so the reason why I was turned off is that they didn't indicate if it was a cold platter or a hot platter. That throw people off because people who love seafood is not gonna say, oh, is it hot or is it cold? That's not gonna come into your mind to say, is it a hot plate or is it a cold plate?
Mm-hmm.
And to tell you the truth, I went back to a restaurant by myself. Michael wasn't there. And very fancy restaurant. And they had a seafood as well, platter. And it was not on ice. It was the same thing that these people have on ice. And it was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Totally
Gotta
delicious.
be warm.
But it's an expensive.
Oh yeah, that was an expensive night.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we had a gift card from somebody for
That
that
gift
restaurant.
card wasn't much though, baby.
No,
Wasn't
it covered maybe 25% by the time we were done.
But yeah.
Oh, that
So
was awful.
I was saying something before I start talking about my mother. Do I totally forget people?
I know. I was thinking, how did we get from Bob Marley to restaurants?
No, I was telling them about something about my mother, and then I go to the restaurant, and then now that I'm coming back to my mother, I totally forget what it was.
Your mother's a wonderful lady. I
Yes.
love your mother. She's very quiet.
My mother is good, people,
Mm-hmm.
but my mother has flaws, people. Do you understand?
Hooah! That's what we do. She says that all the time. In fact, Jamaican people say that a lot.
Yes.
And I was telling her that to English, like to Canadians, that sounds a little offensive sometimes. You know,
Yes.
they'll say something. Do you understand?
It does.
It sounds like your parents, you know, do you understand me?
So our culture is that when we speak, we ask if the person understand, not because we think the person is foolish or undereducated or anything. It's a slang. And so that slang. So he found something in the movie. So when the movie ended today,
Oh, yeah.
oh, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say something, do you understand? He would say, hooah.
And that's a military thing. Heard, understood, and acknowledged. That's what they say. Hooah.
Right. So when we were talking and I said, you understand? He said, hooah. In the movie, you said you see commonality with me. And
Oh,
something.
yeah. Oh,
Tell him
lots
about
of-
the commonality.
Lots of stuff. That, do you understand? That I heard that. What was the other thing I said I heard? Oh, yeah, you used them.
The people, them.
The people, them. They say that all the time. It's just, and then I think this drove my parents crazy because both of them are teachers when they met Charmaine. But in patois, I is spelled M-I, right? In patois. Me. Isn't that what you told me?
Me?
When you say me, you're
Me.
really meaning I.
Am I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me. So, but it means I. So it sounds to us like they're saying M-E, English me. So instead of saying, you know, I went to the store, they'll say me went to the store.
Me.
And they're mixing up patois and English, and it sounds like it's bad English, but it really isn't. It's just a mixture.
So
I learned
me.
that.
Right. So I said me. Me went to the store, but it sounds like me from an English teacher, from an English teacher point of view. And so
It's bad English.
that's bad English because you know some English teachers, they are fanatically English. You cannot mix broken English with proper English for those fanatic English teacher. And so Michael parents, our teachers.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, but learning the language as they go along, they realize it's broken English mixed into proper English, and it goes like that. When we're explaining ourselves in an exciting way, the English break in and out, and they look at me. Was that a proper sentence or whatever? Which I don't know if they're looking at me. I don't care because I'm just expressing myself. Whatever. So what I'm saying is, be yourself. Whatever
Yes.
somebody is thinking about you, you don't give a S dash I dash. Whatever it is, don't care. Whatever people think about you, just be yourself. Do your own thing. Their thought about you have nothing to do with you. You be your own self. If they have a problem, they will come to you and say, I saw you say this. What does it mean? They will want to learn. And if they are not hypocritical or hypocrites, they will want to know why instead of making judgment. That's all I have to say. But he learned some things out of the movie that he saw that I do. Like, I'll say the people them. The people them, which with him, people and them are
They collide.
they collide. But it's patois.
We would
So,
say the people went to the store. And
people then
she'll
went
say,
to the store.
The people then went to the store.
Right. And there was
And I
something
heard
else.
that, yeah.
There's something else that you saw as well. The eating of the teeth when Rita
Oh,
was
yeah.
going up. When Rita was going up
I
that
can't do it.
stairs,
You do it.
Rita was. He
Yeah,
didn't
that.
get up from morning.
And the longer it is, the more trouble you're in. I've learned that too.
So yeah, so that's about.
Like the first show when it wasn't edited properly, it was a long.
I was upset.
You were.
I was upset because Michael promised me to edit it, and it
And I
didn't,
thought
and
I
it
did,
wasn't
but I
edited.
didn't.
And there are things in there that needed to be edited. The beginning of the thing needs to be edited because we started ourselves, so we walk in while it's being filmed. And when we end it, we have a clicker though. But when we end it, ended
And we
ended
have to
it
walk
walking
over and
out.
shut off the camera.
And then he was talking to me about what was in my mouth and video and stuff. Yeah, and so I was if it wasn't late when I was watching it, I would say go take it down right now. But
we have a new show that comes up every Wednesday at 6:30 Central Time. 6:30 p.m. Central Time. It starts on Rumble and YouTube. I think on our advertisement it says Tumblr too, but until I can figure it out, Tumblr won't let us put up a video of more than about 10 minutes or something. It just won't fit these videos. So
we like to do It's Raw because you get to understand how we interact as people together. It's different culture, and we have the same belief. We have almost the same belief. We
do.
believe the same. We don't get in trouble with each other. We discuss things openly, properly,
rationally, usually,
rationally.
unless you get the.
Oh, I need to tell you. I don't want to start it because we have 2 minutes, but I need to tell them about the pronunciation of Mac Phillips, Mick Phillips.
Oh yes,
the
this is fun.
parameter, and all of that, where we put in the correct letters and they subtract and put an I or
Like we
a.
say perimeter. The
Right.
perimeter highway.
Right, so they put
This
an
is
I
perimeter.
because it's perimeter.
Well, that's what my GPS says too.
Perimeter.
Yeah, the GPS
Yeah.
says perimeter.
But it is perimeter. so I want to take to you the difference between us, the likes and dislikes and all of that, and just rumble. And we want you to have fun, people.
Yes.
We want you to see
Life is fun.
Life is fun. Nobody take you seriously. Even if you're a manager, people.
Yes, people don't take you seriously.
We don't take you seriously.
No.
Stop being too serious. Enjoy your life.
Enjoy your job. Enjoy,
Enjoy
your
your
life.
job.
Enjoy your
Enjoy
kids. Enjoy
your
your
kids.
spouse.
Enjoy your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the things that are out there. Enjoy your intimacy. Enjoy stuff. Pray for them.
Yeah.
Pray about them.
Yeah.
Pray for them. And so until next time.
It's raw.
Rah!
Bye for now.
Bye for now. See you next Wednesday at
6:30 Central Time.
Central Time. And our clock has gone back. We are now 1 hour
We're 1 hour ahead of what we used to be.
ahead as of
But
last
most of you
night.
have gone to daylight savings time too, unless you're in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Or what was the other place I heard? Northwest Territories, I think, don't
Jamaicans don't change time.
No, they don't either.
So we have gone back 1 hour ahead, and so we'll see you. Thank you for watching. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Esteemed, a YouTube and Rumble channel with multiple playlists. Mental Health, a Holistic Impact with host Charmaine Brown, a licensed registered psychotherapist discussing mental health in everyday life through experiences and the Raymond family saga. It's Raw with hosts Charmaine Brown and Michael Clark chatting about anything and everything that comes into our minds and out into the atmosphere. Simplify with host Pastor Michael Clark, bringing your faith and walk with God down to simple truths.